What's up, everybody? This is White J, your commissioner for Fantasy Football 2011 on Facebook, powered by Say It With Me Sports Illustrated. We are back for week number 2. Had a good time week number 1, checking my scores a lot. Didn't come out on top, but that's the way it goes. Still put up a decent amount of points, but made a couple calls Sunday morning that probably cost me the game. Other than that, there was a lot of movement on the power rankings this week. We'll go over that. My predictions were 5 and 5 for last week, so I was 50%. I wasn't really expecting to do all that great the first week because I hadn't seen anybody play, don't know what the players are going to look like, so I thought 50% wasn't too bad. I was happy with that. Hopefully I'll get better as the weeks go by. So let's jump right into the power rankings. What I did is kind of base it on the points and the win and the roster. I don't think the power rankings as we go along are that accurate on Facebook, so I'm going to be tweaking them a little bit. I'm going to take into account a little more than just the numbers. So here was my power rankings for week 2. Moving up from moving up all the way from 19th to number 1 this week, we have the Scrappers, captained by Tommy Osh. He was 1-0, scored 104.6 points, the most in the league. Congratulations to Tommy, my boy. I know he had a rough season last year, but hopefully he can keep the winning ways going and stay up there at number 1. Number 2, we got the Rear Pants Stompers, Adam Styles, 1-0, 100.3 points. He moved up from 11th to 2nd based on his win and his points. Number 3, we have moving up also the James Haters. What up, Chris? I see you got me last week, but you know what can I do? Made a few mistakes, and my quarterback was throwing to your running back, as you pointed out. So congratulations on the V last week. Scored 95.8 points, moved up from 12th to 3rd. Number 4, we have Nilla Nation, 1-0. Jada Nilla, representing Nashville, North Carolina, scored 91.1 points, moved up from 16th to 4th. So we had a lot of people moving up based on wins and points putting up. Number 5, we got the Terrapin Station, also moving up. Nate Roby, what's up? Representing Raleigh, North Carolina. Nate's team scored 85.1 points, 1-0. They moved up from 7th to 5th, so moved up a couple spots this week to number 5. Number 6, Roddy Roethlisberger, captained by me, White J. Lost but scored 83 points. And I still have a roster to contend with, so I placed myself from 3rd back to 6th, moved myself down a few spots for the loss, but I did score 83 points, 5th most in the league. Coming in at number 7, we got PT Best, Bernardo Caruska, 1-0, scored 77.7 points, so I moved him up from 14th last week all the way to 7th. Number 8, we have the King of Hillis, Mike Pelyak, 1-0, 81.4 points. I moved him back from 2nd, even though he won. He still scored 84.1 points. So just moved him back a few spots. I mean, he's still solid, but that's the way the ball bounced. Number 9, we got Doomsday 97, Joey McMurdy. He's 0-1, scored 77.7 points. I'm sorry, Bernardo scored 79.1. I read the wrong line. Doomsday, I moved him up from 14th to 9th. Mike moved down from 2nd to 8th, but yeah. Doomsday 97, 14th to 9th. Number 10, we got Hawaii Hillbillies, Jack Torriello, 0-1, scored 77.3 points. I moved him up from 17th to 10th. Number 11, we got the Masternators, Nate Elzer, 1-0, but only scored 74.3 points. So I moved him down 3 spots from 8 to 11. Number 12, last week's number 1 Scarface guy. He wasn't too tough this week. Only put up 73.2 points, lost his match. So I moved him from 1st down to 12th. Number 13, we got F-Bomb, Justin Dubrovchek, 0-1, 71.1 points. I moved him down from 6th to 13th just based on the points. The Masturbators, Brian Smith, 1-0, only scored 69.9 points. Moved him down from 5th to 14th. Team Flash, Zach Smallwood, 1-0. Somehow managed to win at 62.9 points. So I moved him down from 9th to 15th. Wildcat Offense, Julian Cohen, 0-1, 60.5. Moved him up from 20th, so he gained 4 spots, even though he lost, but he only scored 60.5 points. Number 17, we got number 1 Browns fan, Bree White, 0-1, only scored 60.3 points because Arian Foster was out. It's the main part of her offense. Moving her up one spot from 18th. Shadow Ed Stark was at 13th. Now at 18th, Zach Trent, 0-1, only scored 58.1 points. Sugar Buzz, Martin Spencer, 0-1, 56.5 points. I moved him down from 10th to 19th. And coming in last is the Bloodhounds this week. Last year's Phenom, Travis Sin, 0-1, scored a league low 41.2 points. So I moved him all the way from 4th to 20th. So I think that was the biggest leap this week, was Travis going from 4th to 20th. But hey, the season's not over. It's just the week 2 power rankings. Everybody still has time. Pittsburgh took a beating, so that definitely hurt his roster. He's definitely Pittsburgh heavy, so we'll see if that hurts him moving forward, depending on Pittsburgh's performance. But let's jump into matchup number 1. We have the Scrappers, Tommy Yosh, 1-0, and then he's playing P.T. Best, also 1-0. For Tommy, we have Aaron Rodgers, Seth Benson, Javed Best, Mike Tolbert, Greg Jennings, Michael Crabtree, Greg Little, Rob Gronkowski, Adam Vinatieri. Houston's defense, on the bench he has Donovan McNabb, Willis McGahee, Brandon Tate, Golden Tate, Brandon LaFell, Ben Watson, and Shane Graham. Sam Bradford is P.T. Best quarterback. He's got Frank Gore at running back, DeLone Carter for Indianapolis. At flex, he has Jacoby Ford, Miles Austin at receiver, Deshaun Jackson, Wes Welker, who had that 99-yard Monday Night Thriller, Jared Cook, Robbie Gould, and Detroit's defense. On the bench, he has Steve Slayton, Damian Williams, Roy Halou, Chris Ivory, Ryan Longwell, Carolina's D, and San Francisco's defense as well. I'm going to go with Scrappers this week. Tommy has Aaron Rodgers playing at Carolina. Definitely think there's some points to be made there. Cedric Benson came out better than expected. Mike Tolbert is still in there. Thought he might have a leg injury, but he doesn't. I mean, he's still a little bit injured, but he's going to play this week. He's definitely a touchdown vulture down there by the goal line. He's got Greg Jennings, a number 1 threat receiver. Michael Crabtree might come on this week. Rob Gronkowski is one of the favorite targets of Tom Brady, and we all know what they did Monday night. He's got Adam Vinatieri and Houston's defense. Not really a fan of them, but you know, you got to take what you can get. Sam Bradford at New York, he's coming off an injury. Frank Gore was okay. Miles Austin has a struggling quarterback. I do like Deshaun Jackson and Wes Welker. Jared Cook, not really a big fan of him. I do like Detroit's defense. It seems like the players playing at home and away are about even. I like Tommy this week, coming off a victory last week and scoring a lot of points. So definitely endorsing Tommy with the bling this week. He's getting the Playboy. PT Best, spending a little time with your boy. You know how it goes. Matchup number 2. We have the Rear Pants Stompers and the Masternators, both 1-0. Rear Pants Stompers number 2 on the power rankings, Masternators number 11. For Rear Pants Stompers, we have Matt Stafford, Jamal Charles, Ahmad Bradshaw, Fred Jackson at flex, Steve Johnson, Marquise Colston, Anthony Armstrong, Dustin Keller, Ryan Suckup, Atlanta's defense on the bench, Matt Hasselbeck, Jason Snelling, Isaac Redmond, Toby Gerhardt, Derek Hagan, Derek Mason, and Neil Rackers as his backup kicker. For Masternators, we have Colt McCoy at quarterback, Ben Tate, who is Arian Foster's replacement, Beanie Wells, Jonathan Stewart, Larry Fitzgerald, Randall Cobb, D.V. Henderson at wide receiver, Heath Miller at tight end, Alex Henry at kicker, and San Diego's defense and special teams on the bench. You have Luke McCown, Steven Jackson, Stephen Ridley, Roy Williams, Jordy Nelson, Lance Moore, and Evan Moore. Pair of Moores. Does more equal less? I'm going to go with the Rear Pants Stompers this week. I got him ranked at power ranking number 2. He has a pretty strong lineup. He's got a lot of guys playing at home this week. Masternators has considerably more guys playing on the road. Questioning Brandon Tate this week because Arian Foster's back. He's got Steven Jackson on the bench hurt, and Stephen Ridley are both hurt. Doesn't really have. I do like Jordy Nelson on his bench as a possible wide receiver, but he definitely needs another running back. I'm not really high on Jonathan Stewart either. Looks like Beanie Wells is going to be his man this week probably. On the other side, you got Ahmad Bradshaw. You got Fred Jackson, who had 120 yards last week. No touchdown, but he's sure to score eventually. I don't like the fact that he has Marquise Colston still in there. He's got to get a replacement in there for him because he is out. So maybe Derek Hagan can handle the job, or Derek Mason. But either way, as long as he gets that taken care of, I'm going Rear Pants Stompers. Matchup number 3, we had the James Haters, 1-0. Took me out last week. Number 3 power ranked. Hawaii Hillbillies at 0-1, number 10 on the power ranking. For the James Haters, Chris Littell, Niles, Ohio, Kerry Collins, LaShawn McCoy, Sean Green, Javaris James, Steve Smith, Jericho Cottrey, a wide receiver, Jacoby Jones, Jermichael Finley, former Buckeye Mike Nugent, and Philadelphia's defense and special teams. On the bench, he has the injured Peyton Manning, Chad Henne, who put up good points last week. Last week's supposed breakout, but never did, Donald Brown, Ontario Hardesty, Brian Robisky, Ben Obamanu, and Vasanti Shanko. For Hawaii Hillbillies, we have Tavares Jackson, Maurice Jones-Drew, who came back a little bit last week, Ryan Matthews, D'Angelo Williams, Percy Harvin, Darius Hayward-Bay, AJ Green. Tight end is Brandon Pettigrew, and Phil Dawson is his kicker, with defense and special teams being Seattle. He's got Dexter McCluster on the bench, Kendall Hunter, Johnny Knox, Brian Hartline, Vincent Brown, who's hurt, Billy Cundiff, and backup is St. Louis defense. I'm going to go with the James Haters this week. I forgot to give out the bling last round. I'm going Rear Pants Stompers. You're getting it, as well as the James Haters. You guys are both Playboys this week. Hawaii Hillbillies and the Masternators. Man, pucker up, baby. James Haters, Kerry Collins, he's holding the fort down. I mean, he might want to throw Chad Henne in there the way he looked last week. Chad Henne with some new weapons. Ted Ginn fired up everybody. LaShawn McCoy had a nice week. Sean Green, decent. James Starks is in there. He's fighting, fighting with my guy, Ryan Grant for carries. Jermichael Finley, I mean, they're at Carolina, so they might, look his way in the red zone. I like Philly at Atlanta because Atlanta didn't look too hot last week, and Philly has a decent defense. For Hawaii Hillbillies, Tavares Jackson questionable. Maurice Jones-Drew, as I said, looked okay. Ryan Matthews looked decent. I'm not impressed with Hawaii Hillbillies receiving corps though. Percy Harvin, Darius Hayward-Bay, and AJ Green. I definitely think that's outmanned by the James Haters. So I'm definitely going with the James Haters this week. Like I said, him and Masternators are getting the Playboy, and the Roethlisbergers are going to Rear Pan Stompers is getting the Playboy, as well as James Haters, and Hawaii Hillbillies and Masternators are getting the Roethlisberger. Alright, that's about my limit for video number 1. We'll be back for number 2.